Okay, so we didn't say this on the front end, but now that it's all together pretty much, we put in the water pump here, the shiny bit. Got that all back together, and that just had a couple little gaskety bits to get done. The shiny guy here, and then put the harmonic balancer on the bottom, below everything else, which is much harder to reach now, way down here. That went on fairly easily, actually. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Gotta get a line just right, and then suck it in with the bolt. Once you get the nut on, it was much, or once you got the washer on, it actually sucked on better. Much better than it came out. I didn't break anything to get it on. It's crazy. I didn't know that was possible. And then put the fan on, put the bolts on, and the fan pulley. It was kind of a little bit of a struggle to get these bolts on through, to get onto the water pump. These all three had to go on at the same time, and then we had to hold it to get it set, and kind of obnoxious, but got it tightened on, got it snugged up, ready to go there. And then got the power steering pump down here, which goes on the bottom of the pulley, and then the AC. Nope, that's not the AC. That's the, yeah, no. What is that? Is that the AC? I know what I'm looking at. What is this? This is the AC. Yeah, AC line, AC charger. This is the AC, and then we put the alternator on, alternator brackets. Did we take that thing off? What is that guy? I don't know what that is. And there's that thing down there too that we also put back on. I don't know. It routes. It has a pan. It has a pulley. And then the previous guy had somehow put the tensioner on weird, and it was backwards. And so usually you put a wrench on this nut here, and you pull it this way, and it'll loosen the whole belt. And so then when it's released, it puts tension on the belt. I don't know what they did. They put it on backwards somehow. So then that was actually just loosening the bolt, and it was a whole thing. So got that back around right, rerouted the belt with a little bit of guess and check, and now it all fits. And the belt actually went on just fine. And so then I think we're there now, in theory. Got these hoses back on, easy stuff. Radiator hoses. I guess there's a good chance to just look at everything, make sure we did get everything back on, now that I mention it. It's probably fine. I think it's fine. Yeah. Looks good. Looks like stuff's in its place. Oh, yeah.
What you doing, Scott?
Well, this sleeve appears to be full of rust and gunk. So when we were threading it down, it was bottoming out way before it was actually tight. So
It made our new bolts all terrible too, so I made that nice and shiny.
should have probably done this before we put it all back together.
Look at that.
That's
Perfect. Mint. Anyways,
gunk.
we'll clean that out and then bolt it all back together.
Almost there.
So where are we at now, Scott?
We just gotta put it back together. It's basically there. We got all the
Shiny bits is in.
all the shiny blue bits with the new gaskets and, you know, new bolts. And I think all the leaky bits that we could have screwed up with gaskets and whatnot are in, so that damage is done.
We didn't screw any up.
Didn't screw anything up. It's perfect. So we just gotta put these big ancillary bits back on and fire it up, see what happens. It's gonna be great.
What'd you find there, Scott?
Well, as I'm putting this back on, I was bumping this stud, and this was still a little bit floppy. Like, it wasn't all the way seated against the water pump here. So I dug around in there and cleaned out more gunk to get that to actually seat, which it now is no longer rocky, floppy. So I'm thinking that might have been, because this is right where it was leaking before we took this off. So it might have been that someone replaced this, the last guys replaced the water pump, because this is all shiny and new, and didn't get this tightened down all the way, and that worked its way out. So maybe that was what was wrong, and that wouldn't really have any impact on what we did now, because we replaced it all.
It's all going to be fixed.
But it's going to be great.
So we have an issue with the bolts.
So we got a new harmonic balancer down there on the bottom.
Nice and shiny.
Nice and shiny.
Not ugly like that one.
Not ugly like that one. That one was stuck in real pain to get off and looked sad. But these are the bolts that were on it, which I was trying to thread in, and they weren't quite going in. And come to find out, these are too fat. This is the actual size that needs to go in there. Thinner. And these I found in a bucket of red and bolts, and they are 3 different bolt head sizes.
They look very similar though. You know, this is the good stuff here. Look, this one's even a little shiny. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
They should work fine. It's just to hold this pulley on. There's not a lot on it, but it'll be great for if we ever need to take it off again, to remember that there's 3 different sizes.
It'll go great.
Great. Finishing touches. How'd we do? What?
We did good. We got most of it put back together. We just have a radiator drain plug leak that we got to figure out. And
so annoying.
It's time to call it a night.
Stupid plug down there on the bottom wouldn't turn off for some reason and just dumped out the bottom of the radiator. We got everything else together.
Got everything else together.
Now stupid little thing. So we'll figure it out later. Now that it's all back together, I think, theoretically, it looks like it's all together. Started to put coolant in it, and then down here, next to the radiator, started dumping out coolant out of the side little porthole there. There was a plug that we had used to drain. There's a radiator drain plug that we pulled out to drain it. I remember to put it back in because it was in our bucket of bolts. I remember to put it back in, but then once the radiator filled up to that hole, it started spewing out the side drain hole for some reason. So I tightened it a little bit more. Didn't make any difference. Apparently I tightened it very tight, and so then it kind of broke the little plastic tab, trying to back it off to start over. So yeah, and then that was late, so we kind of gave up. So that's TBD, figure out how to get that back off and why it's leaking out of there. It's not leaking, it's dumping out of the drain hole that it's supposed to dump out of, but I don't know why it's not sealing off. It should be sealed. So I need to figure that out now. And then we're good. And then it'll start, and then wheelies. Wheelies and burnouts and red lines all day long. Ready to go.